Hello, my name is Dara and I am going to be doing a 30-minute yoga practice. This practice is part of day 1 of 30 minutes for 30 days to raise money for breast cancer research through the Canadian Cancer Society. So throughout this whole month, I will be practicing yoga for 30 minutes a day in some capacity. So today, I'm going to probably combine some pranayama practice, which is breathing, with some asana, which is the movement. And I'm going to start kind of trying to get into a meditative state and calm my mind. One of the tenets of yoga that I think probably the most difficult is the idea of non-attachment, that thought of letting go of things that don't necessarily serve you, letting go of the need to be something that you're not, understanding that everything that we have is what we need in and of ourselves, which actually kind of moves into another limb of yoga as well. And so throughout this whole time, my goal is to really practice more than just the asana part of my yoga practice. So I'll be doing that for 30 days. And, I'm hoping that people will join along. People might learn something about themselves through the process. I'm just gonna start my yoga on my Apple Watch because I'm still quite attached to that. And then let's maybe raise some money for cancer research while we go. A small bit of backstory: when I was 14 and my beautiful younger sister was 6, we lost our mother to breast cancer. And, my goal is to try to make it so that other people don't have to go through that same thing. And one thing I can do is to help raise money. So I'm trying to raise $300. It's not a huge sum. I've raised half of that so far. Thank you to my donors. So let's see where we can go from there. If you want more information about it, I'll post the link underneath this video if it's on YouTube, and you can see through my Instagram and Facebook. So I think let's start, and please follow along and join me in the practice. Start in a comfortable seat. I'm on a meditation cushion. I find that sitting on a block or a cushion or something like that helps me achieve a bit of a straighter spine. My spine tends to want to curve inwards when I'm sitting, and I find it difficult to sit for long periods of time. So as you're sitting, find a comfortable seat and scooch your sits bones down and sit so that your tailbone is kind of, what is that? Tilting. So you've got a nice straight back so that your pelvis is going like this. I'm kind of leaning off the front of the pillow. I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to close mine. And let's take a few moments together to observe our breath. Observe how it enters the body, how it feels when it fills up the lung and the belly and the chest. And then observe what the breath feels like when we release it. We'll just start breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. With eyes closed, hands can be gently placed in the lap, or if you like, you can sit with a mudra of some sort that you find that serves you right now. Maybe as you breathe in, you can picture your lungs and your belly and everything just inflating. And then the air going from your lungs to your heart and being pumped around the rest of the body to feed all of the cells in your body with all of that much needed oxygen. And as you breathe out, maybe you can picture it going backwards from the cells with the waste all the way through, back out the lungs, releasing carbon dioxide back out into the nature into nature. I like to view breathing as a symbiosis with nature, with trees and grass and flowers and plant life, because they give us the oxygen we need. We use it up and it feeds us, and then we give them the carbon dioxide back that they need, creating a symbiotic relationship with Earth. Maybe we start lengthening the breath, breathing in for 4 or 5 or 6. And then perhaps we start pausing at the top of the in and the bottom of the out. Pausing with a full chest. And pausing at the end of the release before we take it back in and continue the cycle. With every breath I take, I'm going to try and detach from the worries I have, from some situations today that made me feel a little triggered. And with every release of breath, I'm going to let it go. Be here right now in this moment. And when we're ready, let's start finding some movement. If you'd like to open the eyes, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. Let's start bringing the shoulders up on an in-breath and down on an out. And maybe we roll the shoulders forward, up and back, and then reverse. Let's go back, up and forward. And I like going up and back. Could find some movement in the neck, just gently. I'm really stiff today. I did a lot of hard work yesterday, so my neck and my back, my inner thighs, my calves, even my hands and my wrists are sore from all of the hard work I did yesterday. Just finding some movement that feels good. Maybe you want to combine rolling the shoulders and the neck, just as long as you're not making it hurt in any way. And with an in-breath, let's bring the arms up and look up. And out-breath, hands down through heart center. Let's do that twice more. Breathe in, arms up, look up. And exhale, hands down through heart center. One more, breathe in. And exhale, hands down through heart center. I like to do some side stretches. I'm going to go ahead and pull that cushion out, and I'll just adjust the light so that the glare isn't so high. Find yourself in a place where you're in a comfortable seat and either cross-legged or up on your knees or feet out front, whatever feels good. I still enjoy cross-legged right now, but I've pulled that cushion out so I can reach the floor. If you want to stay on a cushion, grab a block so that you can bring the floor closer to you. I'm going to start with my right arm, and I'm going to plant my left arm down and breathing in, bringing the right arm up. And out. I'm gonna bend over my left side body, opening up the right. That feels good. I'm gonna take some big deep breaths in this. Remember to try and open up that heart, bring the right shoulder back. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit to open up the chest in this side bend. And as you breathe in, you can find length and reach. And breathe out, maybe sink a little bit into that side bend a little bit more. On an in-breath, leading with that arm. Bring yourself back up to center and exhale. Breathing in, left arm comes up. Do it again on the other side. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Opening up the left side body, stretching over to the right. You can be pulling with the left arm fingers. Breathe in, maybe squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathe out, bend a little bit further. On the next inhale, you can lead with the left arm, bring it nice back up to top. And then to center. Let's do some seated cat-cows. Hands come to the knees. And as we breathe in, we are going to push the belly out, squeeze the shoulder blades, look up, and push out the tailbone. And as we exhale, we're going to curl in. So you want to curl the chin to the chest, squeeze in the belly button, and curl the spine. In breath and out. In and out. One more. And let's come back to neutral. Let's do a little bit more work with our spine. So we've now twisted it back and forth. Let's do some twists to get that other motion. For this twist, I like to have one leg here so that it's kind of easier for me to hinge on my leg. Sit how it feels comfortable for you, but I'm going to try it like this and see how it feels. With an in-breath, I am going to bring my right arm up. And with an exhale, I'm going to bring my right elbow to my left knee, and then my left arm goes back, and I'm going to push. I'm going to use my knee to push against to bring myself into that twist. So as an inhale, we're going to lengthen our spine, and on an exhale, we're going to twist a little bit deeper, looking over our left shoulders. And on an inhale, untwist and bring it back to center. If you use your knee, switch sides. Whatever works for you. This is just how I'm feeling it today. You can do this cross-legged. You can do it lots of different ways. Okay, so breathing in, we're going to bring the left arm up. And exhale, left arm to right knee, hook it over. Right arm goes behind, and we do a nice twist here. This feels good. My back is really tight today, so this is lovely. I should say, if you want to get a little bit more out of the stretch in the glute and the hamstring, this leg can come over and you can twist that way as well. And on an inhale, will I twist? Let's do some forward folds, just seated. So in a seated forward fold, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my glutes and I'm going to pull them back so that my bones, my sits bones, are directly on the floor. You can have as much bend in the knee as you want. What we really want is to be hinging at the hips and having the back straight to get a nice hamstring stretch without feeling it too much in the low back. So let's bring those toes and try and point them towards us. So heels should be pointing toward whatever wall you're facing. And we're nice and straight. You can have a small bend or straight, however you're feeling. I'm a little tight, so I'm going to have a little bit of a micro bend in my knee. The more you bend, the easier it's going to be to make sure we're hinging and not pulling it into the back. So on an in breath, let's bring the arms up. And on an out breath, let's hinge forward. And the arms can come down and rest wherever it feels right. Can touch the toes, the shins, the knees, whatever feels good. Take as much of a bend as you want. You want that in the hamstring, not as much in the back. Let's keep that back nice and straight as we hinge. And on every out breath, you could even hinge a little bit further. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Two more. And an inhale to bring it back up. You shake it out, whatever feels good. Let's move into having a look at our legs. Let's do a deer pose or a 90-90. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my left leg and hinge it out so that it's 90 degrees this way, and my right leg comes in front of me and 90 degrees this way. So this is deer pose or 90-90 because we have two 90 degrees. I don't want to just go to the middle. What I want to do is twist my torso so that it's facing the same direction as my right knee. So I am facing forward here. We can take a few breaths just right here. Maybe you're feeling something in the front part of your left leg. Maybe that's in your left hip a little bit. Maybe you're feeling a little bit in your right hamstring. And let's take a big inhale. And on the exhale, let's twist. We're going to twist toward the right, bringing our left arm across our right knee. And we're breathing into that twist. As we inhale, we're going to lengthen. As we exhale, we deepen. And exhale, we can untwist here. Another variation of this we could do, if we want to open up that left hip a little bit, is to do a forward fold. That's a slight forward fold in this position as well. As we're breathing in, we find length. As we exhale, we're just hinging at those hips ever so slightly, and we're bringing it forward over the right leg. So you want to make sure that you're squaring yourself off so that you are in line with your front leg. You should be feeling that in the right hamstring, the right glute, and maybe your lower back a little bit, but not too much in the lower back. I don't know, maybe you are. Your body's yours. As we inhale, we lengthen. As we exhale, we deepen. Maybe you want to melt yourself over that front thigh. Depends where you're at. If you're ready for it, great. If you're not, that's cool too. This is a really nice variation instead of pigeon. This one is a little bit more accessible than pigeon for some folks, so I recommend people try it if pigeon is hard or if you just don't feel good in pigeon. One more breath here. And on an inhale, we're going to come back up, pushing with the arms. All right, let's switch to the other side. I'm just going to pivot this way. Again, so we've got, where am I at? My left leg comes out to the front of the mat. My right leg is now off to the side. So we're going to do exactly the same thing we did on one side, on the other. You're going to notice it feels different. Right now, already, I'm less comfortable in this particular position than I was when I was doing it the other way. So we're breathing into this. Nice straight spine. We'll take another big in-breath, and on the exhale, we're going to twist over the left. And twist, taking our right arm, hooking it over the left, and giving a nice twist this direction. So inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist. And on an inhale, let's bring it back. Let's do our forward fold here. So inhale, lengthen out that spine. Exhale, we're just hinging forward as far as your body feels like going. Any exhale can provide a little bit more depth depending on how far you want to push it. Don't hurt yourself. And on an inhale, bring it back up. Let's do a bit of a windshield wiper of the legs because that was kind of tough. So about hip distance apart, leaning back on your hands, and just windshield wiper those legs a little bit. All right, let's make our way to a tabletop. So yoga poses, or yoga instructors are always going to cue you to have your everything hip distance and shoulder distance apart. Do what feels right in your body so that you have a flat spine. That's going to be the key. You don't want to put a lot of undue pressure on your joints, so stack them in a way where you're not actually getting any pain. So let's do a couple of cat-cows in this position now. As we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the head. And as we exhale, curl the spine. Maybe you find some movement here. This is kind of where my low back is tight. Sometimes I find movement here. Inhale, drop the belly. Do this in your own time. One more. Here we go. We're going to move into some bird dogs. So on the next inhale, we're going to reach up with the right and out with the left hand, leg, right arm, left leg. Find some balance here. Pull in that navel. Inhale, exhale, hold it. Big inhale, reach. And an exhale, let's bring elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Curl the back. Woo, losing my balance. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. And back to center. Do the other. Let's reach with the left arm, right leg. Couple of breaths here. Neck should be kind of neutral. Big inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, one more. I lost count. Exhale, elbow to knee. And back to center. Maybe do a couple of these. My low back is super tight today. That feels really good. All right, on our next inhale, we're gonna bring the right leg and step the right foot between our hands, coming into a low lunge. So lunge can look like this, or we can shimmy that leg back and push into that bend there. This is a nice release of the quads. And what you're doing is you're getting into the hip flexor and up into your psoas, which is always a great way to release emotion. So as an inhale, you maybe lengthen that spine. As an exhale, maybe you bend a little bit further into that front leg. Inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to uncurl the toes, straighten the leg, and come up into runner's lunge. So runner's lunge like this. Take a breath here. And on the next inhale, use those awesome abs to lift yourself up. We're still high up on the toes, and we're gonna come into crescent lunge. Inhale, reaching up. If you fall, come back into it. Breathe into this. On an exhale, maybe you sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. And let's bring our arms down to the hips. And exhale down, bring down the knee. Inhale here. And exhale back into that nice lunge. Come down over. Hands can come down to the floor, blocks, whatever feels good. All right, let's push the right leg back into tabletop. Maybe give a few of these guys here. Next inhale, brings the left leg up, left foot in between. So shimmy that right leg back and sink yourself into that little lunge. This is where I need to feel it today. This feels really good. I did a lot of walking up and down stairs yesterday and a lot of like low to high kind of work. So it feels really good to open up the hips here. It's even stretching out my inner thigh. On next in-breath, let's uncurl the toes, pop that knee up to runner's lunge. Breath here, and inhale, bring it up to crescent lunge. Reach up, look up. Inhale, we're gonna find some length. Exhale, maybe sink into that hip, into that front hip there, into the front knee. I mean, that's a knee. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. Let's take another breath here. And exhale, go ahead and drop that knee. Lean forward. Again, pressing into the front left knee. Hands can come down, opening up the right hip. And exhale, bring it back to tabletop in whatever way feels good. Let's go ahead and take a short child's pose right now. Big toes together. I like to do the wide-legged one, knees out, hips sink back onto the heels. Because I have a bit of a belly, it's really hard for me to do the other one. So this is the one I prefer. Reaching forward. Your head can come down to some blocks, the mat. You can even stack fists, whatever feels good. Let's take 4 breaths here. And then inhale, hands come under the shoulders, press back up. I'm not gonna do vinyasa today. I'm just not feeling it. I'm really stiff. But what I'd like to do is come into a lunge again, starting with the right leg forward, coming up and doing a couple of warrior to triangle poses. So inhale, let's bring the right leg in between the hands, so right feet between the hands. Take a moment here. Exhale. Inhale, curl those toes, coming up to runner's lunge. Exhale, and inhale all the way up. And from here, what we can do is drop the heel and pivot it so that we're coming into warrior 2. So back heel, about 90 degrees, whatever feels good, right? Right leg is in the front. When we're coming into warrior 2, we have one hip facing out and one hip facing forward, okay? So from here, arms are going to come out, and we're going to look over the right fingertips. Breathe here. Breathe, find some length, and then exhale, sink into that front knee a little bit more. You could even, on the inhale, come out of the bend, and on the exhale, come back in. That feels good. Let's do that again. Inhale out of the bend. Exhale, come on back in. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, back into the bend. Inhale here. Exhale. Let's take the right arm down on the right leg. Left arm comes up and actually reaching over the body into a side angle. So the left fingers and the left toes should be in one big long line. We're using our, this is burning. We're using our core to keep us up. We're not dumping all of the weight into that leg. You could even do this if that feels good. And exhale, come on back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Whew, that burns. A lot of work yesterday. From here, we're going to exhale. We're going to lean forward, moving into triangle pose. And then right arm comes down to the inner thigh. Left arm comes up. Right arm can come onto the shin, onto a block, to the floor, whatever feels good here. Breathe here for a few minutes. Breaths. This is one of my favorite shapes. One more breath. On an inhale, using your abdominals, bring yourself back up. And exhale back into warrior. Inhale, we're going to take that back leg and we're going to pivot it back into our runner's lunge, our crescent lunge shape. Arms up. And exhale, come on down onto the knee. Inhale, maybe you want to shift forward a little bit. Exhale, come on back. Let's do a little half split here. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, come on back. Coming back to our low lunge, let's plant the hands and back into tabletop. So I think we'll do the same thing on the other side. I just have to remember the sequence. Inhale, let's bring the left foot between the hands. Next inhale, coming up into our runner's lunge. Next inhale, bringing it all the way up. And from here, we are going to pivot to warrior two this way. So the right foot comes to 90 degrees, left leg bends. Here we are. I'm going to move the other direction. Sorry. This is my left leg. It's just easier. Looking over my left fingertips. I'm going to take some breaths here. When we inhale, let's straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, flipping this. Left arm. Exhale, coming down into our extended side angle. One more big breath here. On the next inhale, leading with the right arm, come on back up. Let's straighten that front leg. Inhale and then exhale, reaching forward, coming down into triangle. Now I pulled something the other day, so I might have to keep a bend in this leg. I'm not sure how far down I can go. All right, that's as far as we go. In triangle. We're gonna try and keep that front leg straight. You stay in your pose. This is hard for me because I hurt myself. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make sure this actually feels good for me. Yeah, that's as far as it's gonna go today. That's cool. And inhale, bring it back up. Back into warrior two. Let's flip those toes into that big, nice crescent lunge. I'm so wobbly. And exhale, bring it down to the knees. Let's do those hip open. Exhale, half split. Oof, yeah, I feel that. Move with your breath here. Let's do 3 of these. Actually, I lied, I want one more. Oh, that feels good. And back to tabletop. Let's take another child's pose. Toes together, knees out, sink those hips back, 4 breaths in child's pose. Come on, back up. All right, I am feeling a slight little bit of a vinyasa. So here, let's move into downward dog. Curl those toes, big inhale. And on the exhale, send those hips up and into our downward dog. Take a bend in the knees here if you need to. What you really want is a nice straight spine in this downward dog. Pushing away with your hands. You can maybe find some movement here if you like, or find stillness, whatever works. Inhale, up on the tiptoes, look forward, lean forward, and let's step or hop to the top of the mat. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, brings it all the way back up. Look up, reach up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. A small vinyasa. From here, let's step to the sides. We're going to do some wide-legged folds. I'm getting really warm. So left leg is going to stay here. We're going to turn the toes. Right leg steps to the other side of the mat. So we're going to turn the toes slightly in. Okay, we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold here. I think this will feel okay. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. So my toes turn slightly in. That feels good for me. Big inhale, and then on the exhale, hands on the hips, just to kind of guide us, we're going to hinge forward. Any amount that feels good. Nice straight back here. On a big inhale, and on the exhale, you can hinge a little bit more, maybe bring the arms down. Perhaps you want to bring them down to some blocks. And let's let the head become heavy. You can shake your head yes or no. Just really decompressing the spine here. A bend in the knees is totally fine if you're not feeling straight leg. With an inhale, we lengthen. With an exhale, we deepen. On an inhale, let's come up on the hands. On an exhale, let's walk the hands to the left, bending that left knee. And then we're going to turn the right toes out. Inhale here. Exhale. Back to your forward fold and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, walk the hands over to the right, flipping the left foot up. And exhale, come on back, flat back, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, over to the left, bending the left knee, flipping the right toes up. Come on back to center. Work your way over, bending the right leg down into the left. Work with your breath. We're going to do this 2 more times. I like to exhale when I come down and inhale when I go up. One more. Nice. Let's come back. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, hinging at the hips. Come on back up. Let's bring our feet to center here. Let me shake it out. Again, I injured myself back here in my glute the other day. It's feeling a little tight, not gonna lie. Let's move into, what do I want to do now? Maybe really liking yogi squats these days. So maybe we should have stayed in our fold. So let's do that. Yeah. You know what? We're not working on transitions today. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the legs not as far apart as you wanted in your wide-legged forward fold. And let's turn the toes out as far as it feels nice. Nice big inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna move down into our squat. So I'll just bring them a little bit closer together. Shift as you need to. What you wanna do is put your elbows inside of your knees. You should be pushing out. So you should be feeling some pressure pushing the legs outward from the elbows, and you're pushing in with the legs onto the elbows, creating a bit of a pressurized situation here. Nice big breaths. Nice straight spine. You can put a pillow or a block under your bum to help support this as well if you want to do supported yogi squat. Another 2 breaths. This is one of my favorite hip openers. Inhale. Exhale. When you feel ready, take a big inhale. And on your exhale, hands are going to come down and plant. We're going to lean forward and we're going to come on back up. Heel toe your feet in into a nice forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, rocking back and forth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up the spine, coming up, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. I think we've gotten to our 30 minutes, so I think it's let's do a couple of balances and then we'll move down onto the floor and get ready for our Shavasana. So in our balancing pose, I like eagle. Let's do eagle pose today. So what we're going to do is hip distance apart. Just start feeling the earth underneath your feet. Rock back and forth from your toes to your heels. And then maybe come to some stillness. When you're ready, we can start sinking the weight into our left leg. Right leg can become light. Remember the breath. Don't forget to connect. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, bring it over the left leg and you're sitting down into a bit of a squat, like you're sitting with your legs crossed. From here, arms come up. And exhale, right arm comes under the left arm. Wrapping around, touching palms or the back of your hands, whatever works. Elbows up, and what you're doing is you're getting into those shoulder blades. With every exhale, you can sink a little bit deeper into that bend. One more breath here. Inhale, start unraveling and bring it out. Shake out the left leg. We're going to do the same thing. Ground yourself into the mat, left and right, front and back. Start feeling that balance. My balance on my left, which we just did, is always better than on the right. So let's see. We're going to start putting all the weight into that right. Get ready. On an inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, bring it over the right like you're sitting cross-legged and sink into that right leg, bending it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, left arm under the right arm, wrapping around, elbows up. Here, look at something that's not moving. That'll really help. And with an exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into that bend. Pretend you've got a chair under you. One more breath. Inhale, come on back up. Woo! Well, let's shake out that right leg. Come down to your back, however you like. If you want to do vinyasa, if you want to move around, that's fantastico. I'm just going to sit down. Let's come down to the back. Oh. So, We're going to do a couple of bridges. We'll do some figure fours. We'll do some twists, and then I'll do Shavasana. So let's roll it on down. So keep your feet planted here and scooch them as close as you like to your glutes. Sometimes people put a block underneath to have a supported bridge. Please feel free to put a block underneath the glutes here. What we're going to do is we're going to press our hands into the mat. Our feet are about hip distance apart, and our heels are as close to our bum as we can get them. We're going to take a big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to push the hips up. The shoulder and the neck should remain nice and straight. We're pushing through. Clench up your glutes if you like here to protect the low back. Breathe into this. We'll take 3 breaths here. 2 more. And vertebrae by vertebrae, come on down with an exhale. Next inhale brings the right leg crisscross over the left leg into a figure 4. This might feel perfect. Please feel free to stay here. If you want to deepen into that right hip flexor, on an inhale, we're going to reach your arms through that figure 4 and grab the back of the thigh. And breathe into that. I have a feeling I'm going to only be able to do this on this side because of the injury on my left. Some folks might reach around and grab the front of the left shin. My arms don't go that far. From here, we're going to move into a figure 4 twist. So I'm going to go ahead and exhale. I'm going to release my left foot. I'm going to grab my right foot with my left arm. Big breath in, and on my exhale, I'm going to twist toward the left, placing my right foot down. So I'm almost in a 90-90, except my right leg is facing upward. From here, we can open up the right and turn facing the right, so we're twisting. And on an inhale, we're going to go ahead and bring that left knee back up and release the right leg. Let's do the same on the other side. Inhale, left leg comes up, crosses over the right. I have a feeling I'm not going to go too far into this one today, but let's see how it goes. Inhale, we can bring our arms through the hole we created around the right thigh. This actually is not too bad. On the next exhale, we're going to release the right leg down, grab the left foot, maybe inhale here. I like to move with those breaths, and then exhale, bring that twist over to the right, bringing your left foot down and open up toward the left. I like to keep my hand on my ankle as I'm twisting, but you can bring it up to the knee or wherever it feels good. Depends where you want the pressure. One more breath. And on an inhale, come on back out of that twist, and let's plant that left leg. Let's windshield wiper these a little bit. So as your feet are about hip distance apart, you're just going to windshield wiper those to the right and left with your breath. Inhale to come up, exhale to go down. And let's find some stillness. And I'll welcome folks to come into their Shavasana. I like to put a bolster or some blocks underneath my hamstrings when I'm in Shavasana because I have low back pain and I find that feels really good. So I'm going to go ahead and take a good old Shavasana. We're going to have some silence, focusing on the breath. Let the feet flop open, arms, palms up. And let's just find some peace here, coming back to the breath. If you're feeling ready, you're welcome to start bringing some small movements into the body, or ignore me and stay in Shavasana for another 20 minutes, whatever you feel. I like to roll the wrists and the ankles here. Make a big stretch. And rolling to one side. And coming back up. So if you joined me for that whole practice, thank you so much. It was definitely more than 30 minutes, but that's cool. I don't know how to make an asana practice 30 minutes. There's always so much I want to do. I'll be posting every day for the next 30 days in some capacity, either on YouTube or on my social media, Instagram or Facebook. If you want to find me on any of those platforms, it's The Queer Yogi. For Instagram, I think it's the queer_yogi. And the name that I have my personal studio is called Diversity Yoga. So you can find me there as well. If you look up the Queer Yogi, Diversity Yoga on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook and follow along. If you enjoy the content, please come back for more. I'll be posting daily what I'm doing to fulfill my 30 days of yoga practice challenge. And I will be posting some more videos of my own yoga practice and my own asana practice. I won't always do it with all the cueing, but I'll post something, and you're welcome to join me for free just because. And like I said, if you want to donate to the Canadian Cancer Society under my name for the fundraising, I'll post the link, and a QR code or something like that, so it's available. Thank you very much for joining me in the practice today. Be well.